Hey everyone, it's Sunday, so it's time for story time, and with me today is Prince Buttercup, a bearded dragon. Now you've probably seen bearded dragons before. We see them in lots of pet stores and even in classrooms and stuff. They're a really cool lizard that comes all the way from Australia. Now these guys are pretty cool because they are a desert type lizard. They live in savannas and arid regions. They like it really warm. They like it really sunny. So they can handle temperatures up over 100 degrees, and they'll go out on rocks where it's already nice and warm because the rocks have been absorbing that heat, and they lay out in the sun, and they'll flatten their bodies out like a pancake so they can absorb more of that heat and absorb more UVB radiation. That's a special type of radiation that the sun puts out that certain reptiles need to help make them healthy. It helps them process calcium in their bodies. So we'll do things like drink milk to help get calcium in us. These guys get it from their food and then have to be in sunlight in order for their body to absorb it and make it nice and healthy for their bones and give them strong bone structure and to grow properly. Now, they're an omnivore. Omnivore means that they eat both meat and veggies. So in a pet store like this one, he'll get crickets and superworms and hornworms a few days a week, but then he also gets these nice salads made up of collard, mustard, turnip, and radish greens, sweet potato, carrot, zucchini, summer squash, and even little bits of fruit, but not too much because he wouldn't find too much in the wild. And especially not citrus stuff. We like giving him collard greens because collard greens have a lot of calcium in them, which is really healthy for him. Now, you probably wonder why he gets his name, bearded dragon. He's got this nice dark beard under there. Now that beard can change colors depending on his mood. A lot of times they will do it as a signal to other bearded dragons. Sometimes it's if they're stressed out, sometimes if they're too warm. But really, they communicate by not just the color of the beard, but by the bobbing of their head. So if he wasn't happy and saw another bearded dragon, he didn't want him around, this beard would get extra dark, he would flare it up, and then he'd start bobbing his head up and down. And that would tell the other bearded dragon, I don't want you here. But if he did want another bearded dragon around, he would actually wave. So they will move their hand up, and they'll actually start waving at the other bearded dragon, and that tells them it's okay to come over. That's like saying, hey, you're my new friend, and we're gonna play together. Now they come in all kinds of different sizes and colors. This guy's more of like a high yellow color, but sometimes they're more gray or beigey kind of color. Sometimes they're bright orange. Sometimes they don't even have scales. Some people will raise bearded dragons and breed them just to be certain colors or look a certain way. So you see he's pretty relaxed. They spend most of their time on the ground, but they can climb. So they like to climb up rocks. Sometimes they'll climb up wood or on trees so they can get a better basking area. But for the most part, they like being down on the ground a little bit better. So bearded dragons are also known for eating almost anything in sight. If it moves, and sometimes even if it doesn't move, they like to taste it. So they'll flick their tongue out, which is really tiny, but it rolls out and they just kind of taste test everything all the time. So being that Prince Buttercup here is just like a typical bearded dragon and likes to try and eat anything that he can find, we are going to read a special story today by Ryan T. Higgins called We Don't Eat Our Classmates. So I'm going to go ahead and prop him up here because he doesn't mind being a shoulder lizard, and we will read him his story. All right. Penelope Rex was nervous. It's not every day a little T-Rex starts school. What are my classmates going to be like? Will they be nice? How many teeth will they have? This was very important. Penelope's mom bought her a new backpack with ponies on it. Ponies were Penelope's favorite because ponies are delicious. Penelope's dad packed her lunch of 300 tuna sandwiches and 1 apple juice. Finally, the big day came, and Penelope Rex was surprised to find out that all of her classmates were children. So she ate them because children are delicious. Penelope Rex, said Mrs. Noodleman, we don't eat our classmates. Please spit them out at once. So she did. It was not the best way to start school. Still, Penelope was determined to have a good first day. She tried hard to make friends at recess. She finger painted some of her best work. She even saved Griffin Emery a seat at lunch. You can sit here. Penelope started to notice everyone was making friends but her. It was lonely. When she got home, her dad asked her about her first day of school. "I didn't make any friends," Penelope cried. "None of the children wanted to play with me." "Penelope Rex," her father asked, "did you eat your classmates?" "Well, maybe sort of, just a little bit." "Sometimes it's hard to make friends," said her dad, "especially if you eat them. You see, Penelope, children are the same as us on the inside, just tastier." That gave Penelope a lot to think about. The next day, Penelope tried really hard. But poor Penelope, she could not stop herself from eating her classmates. "Mrs. Noodleman, Penelope ate William Amato again." And they were all afraid of her. Think Prince Buttercup? Yep, he's gonna poop on me. That happens. Everybody poops, and that is a huge, huge poop. There we go. Oh, there's more coming out. Look at his poop. And that is some stinky bearded dragon poop. I heard him farting as I was reading the last page, but that's okay. You get it all out, big guy? Are you good? Okay. Well, they were all afraid of Penelope. It's okay. Everybody farts and poops. I heard him farting for a good 10 seconds. I knew that poop was coming. All right, so where we left off, they were all afraid of her. Except Walter. Walter was a goldfish. So Penelope tried to make friends with him. "Will you be my friend?" Chomp. Looks like Walter tried to bite her. "Eee!" cried Penelope. "He's eating my finger! Wah!" Once Penelope found out what it was like to be someone's snack, she lost her appetite for children. She stopped eating her classmates, even when Cece Woodman spilled barbecue sauce all over herself. And soon Penelope made friends. "Found you. Want a brownie? I helped make them." Not even when children look especially delicious. Sorry, now when children look especially delicious, it is one of those days. And as always, it's okay to make mistakes. And I like keeping my mistakes on my videos so you can realize it's okay. And I mess up my words every once in a while. Because I have this thing where sometimes I read ahead and the words look all jumbled together. So, now, even when children look especially delicious, she peeks at Walter and remembers what it's like when someone tries to eat you. And Walter the goldfish stares right back at her and licks his lips. Because dinosaurs are delicious. So that was probably my favorite book that I've read so far. The art is really cool and the story is just really funny. On top of the fact that we had a bearded dragon who loves to eat everything, just like Penelope, fart, and then almost poop on me while I was reading. And then, of course, sometimes I mess up my words, but that's okay. So I think this book has a good lesson that sometimes we might be used to doing certain things or want to see things a certain way because that's what we're used to, but it doesn't always mean it's the right way. So sometimes that means eating your classmates for lunch. So remember, when you go back to school in the fall, it's not okay to eat your classmates. Isn't that right, Buttercup? Why don't we give a close-up for you now that you've relieved yourself? And you can get a good look at how handsome you are. Oh, are you staring at yourself in there? You are. Are you going to head bob at yourself or are you going to wave? All right. Well, hope everybody enjoyed Storytime because I did. This was a really interesting one.